NHL Nightly with your host, the sportsman, a.k.a. Peter Lebowski, a.k.a. Jeremiah Maxwell. And with him, as always, maybe Pearlo, Wisdom, and Rico in Barry.
Sorry about that. How's it going? Did you hit any of your goal scoring props? I was trying to pay attention, but there were so many good games on.
Yeah, I don't think I did. I thought Mercer was going to get one tonight, but
dude, I think my boy Johnny Lazarus might be right about the New Jersey Devils. They could be frauds, man. But the Wings, their demise might be a little bit too early too, huh? 3 straight in a row now for the Detroit Red Wings. And I got the scores up for everybody. Appreciate you. Hopefully we see Pearlo. I didn't hear from him, but he did get his picks in. He did. I think my Aunt Cindy joined on Instagram. Aunt Cindy, hey, how's it going? Aunt Cindy, hope you're living a good life. Anyway. Oh, cat. That's a cat. That cat sounded like, help me. I did read an interesting study that you're 2 times more susceptible to being schizophrenic if you have cats that live with you. I'm going to guess, though, that that's if you live in a very small enclosure with a cat. Like, say, a New York City apartment. So, and not a big house, right? So, real quick, live games. Hurricanes and Flames are back up. Hurricanes are up 1-0. Seth Jarvis has his 2nd of the season. Cale Makar, 3rd of the season. Ross Colton, 7th of the season. Was Ross Colton with Tampa last year, I think?
He was with the Avalanche last year. I think he went there the year before. This is his 2nd season, I believe, in Colorado.
Okay, but he was with Tampa on one of their cup runs, I think, right? So, I mean, he's having a year. 7 goals.
I think he's playing on the top line with McKinnon.
I mean, good for him, man. He's going to have a career year. Jets and Kraken have not gone underway. I've got that game going on Prime here in the States. If you can't find it anywhere, if you're regionally blacked out from it. Sharks and Kings, that puck has not dropped. That one may not drop for us tonight, Rico. We might get through all this stuff. Stars obliterate the Bruins. And I think if you're the Bruins, you got to feel good about Pasta getting on the board. But, outside of that, there's not much to like. They're not a good team right now. Oh, wow. Avi's calling for – I've heard a little bit that Monty might be a little bit on the hot seat early here, man. I think they feel like they fielded a pretty good team. Head coach has no game plan, says Avi, yeah. And then here's the one I wanted to talk to you about. Edmonton fans got to be – Broberg kicks off the scoring. Holloway gets the 2nd goal. I saw Carlo Coccavacchio, former Maple Leaf, Leafs legend, tweet out 2-0 waiver claims. I was like, oh my God, that was good. And then OEL gets on the board, his first as a Leaf. That's awesome. I know he's been shooting the pucks. Alexander Texier. And then Jake Neighbors, your boy Jake Neighbors, gets on the board after he signed that extension, which I don't know if I talked to you about that. I think he might have came on late. What's up, Timmy? Avi's going through it. And then Dylan Holloway gets his 2nd of the night, so to get the empty netter. So they win that game 5-1. Did you watch? I mean, Leafs got 51 shots. Did they get Bennington? What's the did you just get bad goaltending from Jake Wall? Was that the gist of it? Is that how you feel?
A little bit of both. I mean, I would have been more comfortable with Stolarz taking a game, but I mean, you're playing St. Louis, an average team, and a good game to get Wall back in. But I had no idea he was coming into this game. I mean, it goes back to them getting shelled against Columbus too, and them leaving Hildeby in there, especially after he gave up a couple because they wanted to save Stolarz. But all of a sudden, Wall's back now, so that it goes back to the game in Columbus where you could have probably pulled Hill to be early and put Stolars in if they knew Wool was come back. So I think this was it. We didn't hear much about Wool going back in the net for this game tonight, but yeah, I mean, just a couple goals, a couple shots, and needed a couple big saves. Wool did make a couple big ones too, and Binnington looked great, man. There was a couple shots where he looked behind him and he thought they were past him, but they weren't. And you know, like you said last night, man, it could have been the players playing up against their former coach just as much as the players for Toronto playing for their current coach. And I mean, Berube won a cup with them in 2019, so it's not like they hate the guy or anything, but getting up a little bit. And you got guys like Kyrou and those guys are from the Toronto area, so another Western Conference team coming into Toronto, probably for their friends and family, playing hard, catch Toronto sleeping a little bit.
I just think that is so overblown. Like, it's not like Berube was fired unceremoniously. They were having a bad year. And I'll tell you right now, Bannister got these boys playing. They look good. The Blues are a good team. Yeah. Like, we got to start talking about the Blues as possibly a playoff contender because, one, they have something a lot of teams don't have, and that is goaltending.
And they got Claude Julien on the bench too. Like he's a sneaky good coach. Like he's an assistant on the coach or on the bench in St. Louis. They're playing good
head coach,
defense.
Isn't he a Stanley Cup winning coach? Am I wrong? Didn't he win a cup with the Bruins?
I think so.
Wasn't he the 2011 Bruins head coach when they won the cup? Avi's in the chat and he's going, "Yeah, the Caps look good, brother. I'm very excited." I'll tell you who looks good. The Florida Panthers don't have Andrei Barkov, and they go in and they smack the Rangers in Madison Square Garden 3-1. And honestly, you did call it. But the Rangers are still one of the best teams in the East. That was their first regulation loss, by the way. I don't know about the New Jersey Devils, man. 5-4 now on the year. Maybe at all the games they've played because they've easily played. I think they're the first team to 10. But everybody's starting to catch up to them, with the exception of Carolina, who they're playing tonight. They're up 3-0 now, by the way. Carolina is on. So since we've been talking, they've scored 2 goals. So Carolina's up 3-0. Appreciate you guys joining and talking puck with us. I know Thursday nights, we got Thursday night football. It's actually a decent game from what it sounds like. I hadn't watched 1 second of it because there was too much good. That's the thing. Like, I don't need Thursday night's NFL. Like, to me, it's a joke. I don't know why you do it. I mean, I think it goes to Saturdays after college is over. I don't care. Like, I get enough NFL. It's enough. We've got enough. 2 days a week, Sunday and Monday. That's all I want. You're just overkilling your product, in my opinion. It's too much. And it's reflecting on the field too. So it's not enjoyable to watch half the time. Like, if you watch an actual NFL game, like I watch a lot of Red Zone, which that saves me from like losing my mind. But it's just all penalties all day. I don't know. It's just not good football. It looks awful. Like they don't play enough. They don't practice the starters anymore in the preseason. They're all like, we don't need it. Well, it definitely shows like you do because the first 4 weeks are absolute unbelievable to watch. And you could basically just throw them out too because, look, after the first 2 games of the season, we're like, wow, the Saints are really good. Well, the Saints aren't really good now, so it doesn't matter. Anyway, back to hockey.
Yeah, so another stat I saw earlier too is Sergei Bobrovsky, the fastest goalie to 400 wins after he beat the Rangers tonight. And the guy that held the record before was Henrik Lundqvist. So Bobrovsky, fastest goalie ever to 400 wins, 707 games played to get to that. And Lundqvist had 727. So he did it in 20 less, and that's a new record.
Bobby says NFL a rigged league. Who cares? Canes are 6-1-1 in their last 8 games against Calgary. Yeah, Tim, I thought Carolina would win this game. They had a nice comeback against Edmonton. We had to think that Calgary was going to come back a little bit down to earth here. But they're not out of it, and they could get in it. I mean, again, I think Calgary's losing this game because they're wearing the blacks and not their reds. But hey, they did win. They did win the game the other day, in comeback fashion, against Pittsburgh, correct? So I'm real interested in this Jets Winnipeg Jets Seattle Kraken game. Seattle has like a -6 in the first, but they're really good the rest of the game. But Winnipeg does not have a period where they're not plus. They have a plus 17 goal differential. So, and they're playing some good D, and they're scoring a lot of goals. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting game to watch and have on. I don't know how much I'm going to get to see. I have a friend that's popped into town today. So you love the Horsehead Blasty sweaters, huh? Yeah, Tim, I don't hate them. They call them Blasty. I don't hate them. I just like their red ones with the white C, the one that's behind you, so much. I think that's such a nice looking jersey that, that's it. Nothing. Yeah. And Avi, I'm not going to watch 1 second of Sharks Kings game. I don't know about you, Rico. No Macklin. It doesn't feel like there's really any reason to pay attention to that team. They're going to be in the runnings for the first overall pick again, like easily. They could be getting James Higgins too. I mean, they're going to be stacked offensively. But, again, like Mike and I said, I just wonder if it benefits these guys. Oh, Doug thinks the Kraken and Jets are going under the 5.5. All right, Doug. Okay. We'll go with you, buddy. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no chance. I got Jets and Kraken on ESPN. Right. Well, and you live in the East Coast, Avi. So if you live over in like Alaska, they black it out unless you have Prime Video. So I have Prime Video, so it's fine. I got 3 hockey games on, and we got another one puck dropping in like 15 minutes here. So Avalanche look like they've returned to form too, Rico, with the return of Devon Taves. That was, it was clear. We should have understood that was like the big reason they weren't doing well, right? Like they were missing their defensive stalwart on the line. We did have hockey news today. Did you see the signing?
Not a bad deal. Long term, under $8 million for Shea Theodore is a bargain. I mean, the guy that's been there, I think, since pretty much day one. He's probably the longest tenured Golden Knight, if I were to think of it off of my head right now.
Well, is he part of the original Outcast there?
Maybe. Between him, Braden McNabb, probably, I would think that have been there the longest. I can't think of anybody else. I mean, William Karlsson, I think, there since day one. But if Theodore wasn't there since day one, he was pretty much there a year after, I would think. He was there for the Cup run. They did it in their second year.
Yeah, we're going to give old Frank credit because I believe he broke the story. But here it is. For you guys that may not know, Shea Theodore, 7-year, $7.425 million extension. And there's this guy who always tweets at Frank. I always try to say something nice and positive to him because it takes so much ridiculousness on the internet. But free agent frenzy is going to have a lot less frenzy, I gather. Because, we were hoping we would have Draisaitl and all these guys. Now Rantanen maybe, but I think that Colorado gets that one done too, don't you?
Yeah, that and another guy that's going to get paid huge in the offseason, popped his 6th goal already tonight in Madison Square Garden, is Sam Bennett. Like, this guy seems like he's going to go on a tear this year, and he's a free agent too. So whether Florida's able to keep him or not, it's going to be something to see too.
I'm going to guess they're keeping him. I'm just going to guess. I'm going to guess.
Hopefully it works out money-wise. I know they signed Lundell and re-signed, what's his name there? Reinhardt. So,
dude, you get to live in Fort Lauderdale. Like the practice facilities in Fort Lauderdale, guys can drive their golf courts to the practice facility. The
So did you
beach is
do
right
eight times six? 8 times 6 for Bennett, 8 times 7?
How old is he?
I don't know, probably late 20s. I'd say 29 maybe.
And he's kind of made some money, has he not?
I think he was signed for around 5 and change a year.
Let me look here. We'll get it. We'll just get his numbers up so we're not speculating. So no changes in scores to games. I believe the Rams just scored a touchdown, though, if you're interested in the Thursday night game. So they are up 21-17, pending the extra point. Oh, Rico, you're getting talked to. Get on. Don't let the commander in chief down, man. The priority, household 6. We just got the winter tires changed out too. So when my wife got home, I raced to get her tires put up and for the year. Got the studies on for the year. So right now, Sam Bennett makes $4,425,000. He's 28. Man, they'll probably give him the 8-year deal because they did the same thing with Verhaeghe, right? Verhaeghe's 29, and they gave him an 8-year deal at 7. You know what? I would 6.5 maybe for Bennett. I don't know, because Verhaeghe can play the wing, center. Like Bennett's a center. Like he just plays center, really, right? Where they use him. I could see him getting. Oh, my dogs are talking. I could see him getting. I don't know. You think he get more? You think he gets more than Verhaeghe, huh? Rico, you can chime in here. It'd be good.
Yeah, no, I think he gets. I'd say the Verhaeghe deal. I think that would be pretty fair. I mean, yeah, like it'd be pretty hard to leave Florida. I mean, not just a no state tax, but just like you said, an excellent place to play. And you keep that core together. Like Reinhard, Bennett, Kachuk, Verhaeghe, Barkov, like those 5 guys need to stay there.
So Sam Bennett has only played 82 games once in his career, and that was in 17-18 with Calgary, and he scored 11 goals that year. He's only had 28 goals once, and he's only had 20 goals twice. And last year was one of them. I see. To me, I think what he was getting paid was kind of fair and comparable. Let's say 5.5. Mm-hmm. I mean, he has 142 career goals and 151 assists. He's a -9 career in 623 games played. He also has 588 PIMs. I mean, he's a physical player. He brings a lot of intangibles to the ice. But I feel like he probably could take 5.5, and we're not talking about it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think anybody would.
As long as no other team gets stupid and offers him 7.5 or 8 million just because they got cap space.
Well, how about this? He doesn't have to go to free agency. They can give him that extra year if they sign him before, I believe. If he goes to free agency, he cannot sign an 8-year deal, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh boy, Avi, you're going through it, huh, buddy? You're going through it. He's going through it. Kirkland playing over 450 games is a really good story, Tim. We were talking about that a little bit last night. Costco, man. Let's get going here, Flames. Make a game out of this. There looks like they laid a little flat. Again, Carolina, tough. I mean, just like every year, I can't believe anybody counted them out. They're going to be top 3 easily in the Metro. Like, there's just no question in my mind. Yeah, we'll have to revisit this. Avi, I agree with that. I think, but I like McAvoy, though. But I agree with you. I definitely think Hughes and McCarr. I'll tell you what, Luke Hughes looks like he's going to be a player too, man. I don't understand why the New Jersey Devils, they got Pesci and Luke Hughes back tonight. I thought for sure they would win this game. If you told me pick a game that they would win, and Mr. Ice was at the game, he had the over. He bet the over for that game, and when they got 6 goals, he was like, "I'm leaving. I don't care who wins." So, but they hit 8. So,
I picked Detroit last night on the show.
you did, I'm glad. Hey, Rico, you know me. I'm not rooting against the Detroit Red Wings. The NHL is a much better league with the Detroit Red Wings being good. Be careful what you wish for, because if they were still in the Western Conference, one, we'd still get to see them play Colorado. Two, they would be a better team, dude. They would easily be a playoff team. They would have easily been a playoff team the last couple of years. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I love the Red Wings Colorado, the Red Wings St. Louis, the Red Wings Minnesota, the Red Wings Chicago, the old Norris division from the 80s and early 90s. I mean, it just feels misplaced, Detroit playing in.
You know who should be in the East? You know who should be in the East and who should be in the West? Detroit should be in the West. Nashville should be in the East. It's an absolute joke Nashville's in the East or the West. They play in Eastern Tennessee. Dude, they're basically in the Eastern time zone. Like, they're as far right as you can get to being in the Eastern time zone and not being in the Eastern time zone. So, Tim, we're not saying, but are you going to give Sam Bennett $8 million a year? He was making 4 or 5. I feel like that's almost a good number for him. 5.5 or maybe 6.5, because I don't know, man. Like, Florida's got some decisions to make for sure. He's younger than Verhaeghe, and they gave Verhaeghe $7 million, but Verhaeghe pots 40 goals. I think did he have a goal tonight? Did he not? I bet Bennett had a goal tonight too, so that's idiotic. But yeah, Verhaeghe got his first of the year. So, and Bennett's got his 6th. So Bennett's having a good one. Seattle just scored, by the way, up 1-0. This would be a huge win for the Kraken, by the way, right? To win at home against Winnipeg. You okay, Rico? You with me?
Oh yeah, I'm here. I was just checking to see who scored for Seattle, and it was Matty Beniers got his first of the year.
Yeah, I'm watching the game live. I could have just told you that because I'm watching it. Yeah, Matty Beniers. In fact, do I have the Matty Beniers? I'm going to wear that to the Seattle Kraken game. I got the Winter Classic one. So, okay. Preds and Red Wings switch it NHL. Yeah, that's what I like it. I like it, Avi. Mm-hmm. That's what should happen. I honestly think it would benefit the Red Wings because of where they're at with their developmental plan. They're the 10th best team in the East. They're not going to be good for a while in the East. And I get it. They didn't want to do the long travel legs. Well, again, be careful what you wish for. You were winning Stanley Cups when you were in the West. You were winning Stanley Cups. You won a bunch of Stanley Cups in the Western Conference. Hello? 96, right? 97, 98. Did they win 97? I think they did, right? They won 97, 98. 2000, 2002, 2008. They go again in 2000. I don't understand. I don't get why they were in such a big thing to move to the East. It was a mistake. The rivalries are better over there. No one, I mean, like, yeah, we called it, Doug. I called the Kraken goal. We called it live. It was Matty Beniers. Rico looked it up. Thanks, brother. Yeah. I mean, dude, I was my first year in the Army when the Colorado Avalanche and the Detroit Red Wings became the Colorado Avalanche and the Detroit Red Wings. When Chris Draper's like, I can't believe I shook his freaking hand. Like, I lived, one of my best buddies, Darren Ogle, Lakewood, Colorado, was like 2 doors down from me. One of my other best buddies, Jim Moore, was like across the hall from me from Flint, Michigan. They'd be sticking their heads out the door and screaming at each other, fuck you. Oh, yeah, we scored. Fedorov, Sakic. It was awesome, dude. It was the greatest. Oh, man, Stone. Oh, that Maverick Lamoureux kid's making his debut tonight. I did get to ask Frank Saravelli about maybe a trade for the Utah Hockey Club, maybe trying to add to their back end. And he said not right now. So he must have talked to Bill Armstrong. That was really cool. He answered that question because I was curious as hell with all the injuries. And then Kipper said something great. I don't know if you got a chance to listen to their show today, if you were busy at work, or he said, it might be prudent for the Leafs to hold on to Liljegren, even though that's a pretty decent cap hit. What are your thoughts there, Rico?
I think it's early in the year. I mean, it could be a trade chip near the deadline. I mean, it sucks for Liljegren that he's not playing. He's in the lineup, but it's too early, man. Injuries happen. If you move Liljegren now and then you're short right shot D and you're stuck playing Timmins every night and playing him up in the lineup every single night and forced to do it, just watch. I mean, they don't have a ton of depth on D. So, yeah, I don't mind.
Derek, who's a Flyers fan, Derek, have you looked at how many picks you have already? Derek, that's why I laughed, Rico. He said, Utah, could we interest you in Ristolainen? And you guys will be trading Ristolainen at the deadline. That'll be a miss opportunity if that doesn't happen. I actually think Briere made a really good choice with the Gauthier thing. I like the Drysdale move. They need depth at D in the Phillies system. But let's just look at this real quick, because when you go for it, you go for it. And the Flyers have been tanking. So this year, 2025 draft, they have their first round pick, Colorado's first round pick, Edmonton's first round pick. And boy, Edmonton could be a top 10 pick if they don't improve. They have 3 second round picks. They have Anaheim's and Columbus's. Those are going to be very high second round picks in Anaheim and Columbus. Now, and of course their own. They have 2 fifth round picks. They have all their picks and they have those additional picks. The 2 fifth round, they have Carolina. It's no big deal. The next year, they don't have any extra picks. So 2026, when it's Gavin McKenna year, this is what they have to do. They have to try to move Couturier. That's a tough contract, man. 7-7 until 2030, basically. He makes 7.75 for 2030. I mean, that's tough. You're keeping Owen Tippett. You're keeping Konechny. You're keeping Farabee. You're not keeping Ryan Johansson. I guess Ryan Johansson's listed as IR, so did he win that? Yeah, I would trade Couturier, Derek, but I think that's going to be a tough one, man. It's going to have to be a team with a lot of cap space, or you get Briere to Briere gets he retains 50%, but gets like a ton of prospects and maybe a couple first round picks. Yeah, but right now you're doing that. You can only have 2 or 3 contracts. So you still have Ryan Ellis for 3 more years. Oh no, sorry. Excuse me. Ryan Ellis is long-term reserved. The problem is you have 3 buyouts right now. Brizgalov was a buyout? What do they owe Brizgalov? He's on the list as a buyout still. He's still getting paid for the Flyers at 44 years old. Good for him. So right now they're still paying Atkinson and D'Angelo because they bought out Cam Atkinson. Did Cam Atkinson sign somewhere?
Yeah, he's in Tampa.
Is he getting any ice? Have you seen him play? I haven't noticed him.
I haven't really noticed him either. I think he's down in the third line, but yeah.
I mean, he's 35 years old, bro. I mean, You know who the oldest player in the NHL is currently right now?
Ovi?
It is. Alexander Ovechkin, man, 39 years old. Him, Ryan Suter, and one other guy is 39.
Alec Martinez?
No, I don't think he's even that old. I think he's like 35. We just think of him being old because he's been in the league so long. But, we forget sometimes these guys come in and play at such a young age. Yeah, we're not going to see Carter Hart again. But he's a UFA. He's not counting against them, Derek. They didn't have to do anything for Carter Hart. They were able to basically put him in LTIR. Actually think they probably could have pursued not paying him because it was a legal issue. And I think there's a breach of contract thing they can do. So Alec Martinez is 37. So he's up there. Oh, Flames just scored, baby. I think Connor Zary maybe. 3-1. Dude, Utah's keeping this game close. No, Jake Bean, I think, might have gotten the goal. I think it is because he was asking for the puck. Yep, Jake Bean.
Did you see the Four Nations Cup? Did they release their jerseys?
Yeah. Did you not see them?
I was just looking at them. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I heard Sammy McKee shitting on the United States. I sent him a little message that I would, since he hates Americans, that I would make sure the next time he comes through U.S. Customs, he gets strip searched. Just drop his name to Homeland Security that he's a known terrorist. I'm joking, right? Anyway, I got you, Sammy. I think it's insecurity, my buddy. So, yeah, the U.S. He was crapping on the USA ones. They're not great jerseys. I like Finland's jersey too, man. I thought Finland's was nice. Look, Canada's is nice. The Canada did a good job. Oh, Colorado just scored to make it 3-0. Casey Middlestat is your goal scorer. So, hey, thanks for riding with us, guys. We've got 4 games going, and I think the Kings game puck has dropped about 3 minutes ago. So I'll keep an eye on that score for you. But Flames get on the board 3-1, trying to get that gap. Jake Bean, that's why they gave his first goal. Colorado, that was Middlestat's 5th goal, by the way. He's coming in looking good. Dude, man, good for him. And Avi, are you a little bit of a Avs fan? Because you sound like you are a little bit. Or you're just watching that game. The puck has not dropped, according to NHL.com, for who leads the LA Kings in goals.
Kempe?
No. He's got their money line. Okay, Avi, fair enough. You want to guess again? I'll just give you this.
It's not Byfield.
No. Yeah, not Byfield yet.
It's not Trevor Moore.
Nope, not Trevor Moore.
No, it's not Kopitar.
It's not Kopitar.
You know who it is? Wait, I'll bet you. No, I bet you it's that Laferriere kid.
No, it's not Laferriere. No? I'll give you a hint. This guy was traded to the Kings. I'll give you another hint. He was traded for Brock Faber.
Oh, shit. Yeah, why do I not know that? Oh, Fiala.
Yeah, Fiala. I knew you knew it, so I wasn't going to tell you, but I was like, I know you know it.
Yeah.
So sweet. Kevin Fiala and Tyler Toffoli are tied for their team's leading goals at 4 apiece. So Kings Sharks. By the way, Kings are 3-2-2.
Hey, you know who else is hot? Minnesota Wild extended their season starting point streak to 7 games. They got a point in every single game this year.
Dude, nobody's talking about them. I don't understand. By the way, Kucherov, 8th goal of the season tonight. God, he's killing it. He's going to win the Art Ross. He's going to win the Art Ross again. What's the odds of look right now on Bet365? What are the odds to get Kucherov? I will send you some money, $10 to throw on him to win the Art Ross. Because I think he's going to do it regardless. With no Stamkos. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Kucherov, Point, and Gensel might be the best line in the NHL.
Dude, I don't think they're going to take – they're hurting on the power play. Okay? So right now, Cale Makar leads the league in points. Kucherov is 2 behind him. Can you imagine if Cale Makar – also, Cale Makar gets over 100 this year. That would be put some money on that. What are the odds you can get for Kucherov, Art Ross, and Cale Makar over 100 points? Parlay that into a thing. FanDuel. That'd be – I'm calling it right now. Yeah, Boldy is great, Avi. I've been a big Matt Boldy fan for sure. That contract is going to look super nice. This is why I worry if I'm Edmonton. You look bad now. You're the second oldest team, and you're about to give McDavid $16 million a year. So you're going to have $30 million wrapped up into 2 players, which, hey, I know the cap's going to be $110 million at some point, but you still have Darnell Nurse's contract, and you got to get players to want to go there. I think if Edmonton's a Stanley Cup contending team and they look like a contender, they'll get free agents when they have the cap space. And obviously they were able to get some guys this year in Arvidsson and Skinner. I think both those guys signed there with the intent of, hey, this is a cup team. I'm going to go there. But how many teams were looking at Jeff Skinner? Like, I want to know. I think there was more than people think. But how many teams? But already, yeah, they got the room too, Avi. They're going to have about $9 million in space at the cap. So there's some room. There's a move to be made. But here's the thing: you got to stay in the mix for the playoffs, son. If you're, 10 games under 500 by the trade deadline, no, I'm not saying the West is weak, bro. Like, I think the West is weak. I think all the teams in the West got worse, with the exception of Nashville. I also think it's a push for Minnesota, and we're going to see Minnesota only get better. And think about Minnesota. If they let's see if Denver goes number one team even if they win the championship, they'll be done playing hockey by April. Okay. Which Mike and I will be there. So if, let's say, Denver repeats, Z Bouillon can jump to the NHL. And they just added a dynamic defense of player that also has some offensive flash. It's an unbelievable I mean, he's good, dude. That Denver, I was so impressed. Like, he's elite level talent. So it's so amazing to me when you get to see these guys in person, Rico. Celebrating you're just like, oh my God, yeah, this kid. I personally, but because Denver did such a good job shutting them down, So yeah, Kucherov, by the way, is second. By the way, Sam Bennett, Kucherov is first in goals with 8 because he had one tonight. Niku Hischier is next. Then Panarin, Bennett, and Caulfield, and Ross Colton, which Ross Colton had a goal tonight, so he has 7. So he's tied for second with Hischier. So this isn't even up to date for NHL.com. Good job, NHL.com. I'm going to update it. See if I don't know why wouldn't you automatically populate your stats in your own website?
Yeah, I can't find Kucherov. I think a couple of the sites took the futures for players right off. You can get futures to win Stanley Cup still, but having a hard time finding a mid-season bet on anybody to win Hart. But
it's not even mid-season, man. We're a month now. Mm-hmm. I'd say Art Ross, because the Hart is subjective. I would never bet that. Like, I 100% thought Kucherov should have won it last year, but I think if McKinnon would have broke that home streak where he scored in every one of the home games, like he scored in 41 home games, I would have just said, or gotten a point in 41 home games, excuse me. Colorado just scored again, by the way. 4-0. I think Ivan scored. I think it is. Ivan.
So good. He's got 2 first names. Yeah. Ivan on the power play is first.
Ivan may have scored.
Ivan. Yeah.
Check. I wasn't mad, Avi, but I mean, so there's only 2 times in NHL history, or 3 times now, has somebody had over 100 assists. Gretzky did it 11 times. McDavid did it last year, and so did Kucherov. But Kucherov also had 42 goals and won the Art Ross. Like, dude, just amazing. I don't even know who won. Oh, Matthews won the Richard last year, right? He had 69 goals. I got it right here. Yeah, Kucherov had 144 points. Now, McKinnon had 140, and McDavid had 132. By the way, Panarin had 120. He had a good case for the Hart.
There's another guy that could get the Hart this year is Panarin, the way he's playing.
He looks good, but the Rangers look like shit tonight. Yeah, Matthews had 69 goals. Reinhart had 57. What did Reinhart just get? He didn't even get that big a deal. 9-something?
I think so.
I mean, like, I get it. Like, you're paying Matthews 13-something and you got you 69 goals. Like, that's cool and all, but, like, okay. Oh, my God, dude. Okay, yeah. Oh, jeez. Yeah, so Kucherov and McDavid both had 100 assists, and McKinnon had 89. So, yeah. I mean, if Drouin would have got hurt, I wonder if McKinnon would have got there. God, the fact that, okay, so McCarr had 90 points last year and Quinn Hughes had 92. So we haven't had 100. Who's the last NHL defenseman to get 100 points? Was it Bobby Orr?
Erik Karlsson.
Oh, okay, Erik Karlsson. But I know Brian Leetch did it too, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. Yeah. 6 defensemen have scored at least 100 points in a season. They are Bobby Orr did it 6 times. A record of 139. Paul Coffey did it 5 times. Dennis Potvin, Al McInnes, Brian Leetch, and Erik Karlsson are the most recent to do it. So Dennis Potvin did it, Al McInnes did it, Brian Leetch did it, and Erik Karlsson did it. Jeez, man.
That's crazy. Al McInnes did it. Yeah, I knew he was good. I didn't think he got 100 points.
Oh, there's going to be a fight in this game. He shot the goal. Calgary shot the goalie. So with the mask off, I think the whistle blew, but I don't know. Of course, I don't have the volume high because I don't. Yeah, craziness. So who wins the? Okay, here's a question for you. Last year, Connor Bedard missed some time, had 61 points. He won the Calder. He was far and away, but Brock Faber and Luke Hughes both had 47 points apiece as defensemen, and they were second in scoring. Who wins the Calder this year, and do they beat Bedard in points?
Yeah, my pick for the Calder at the beginning of the year was Logan Stankoven. I'm going to stay by that. I know he got his first goal of the year tonight, finally, so I think he's going to heat up a little bit.
He leads rookies in scoring right now with 8 points. So Stankoven's not a bad choice. And he played some pivotal playoff games, right?
Yeah, and he played one under the regular season. I think he played 15. You play 16, you're not considered a rookie or something like that. I know he played basically one less. So, I mean.
That's Jim Nill just being a smart dude. Giving his player a chance to win a nice piece of. And has Dallas had a Calder Trophy winner? Anyway. Get out of here, Japes. Yeah, so second is Matvei Mishkov. Boy, Mishkov had, I think, 3 points against the Capitals in that game. And he looks like a difference maker. If they can figure out their centers, Derek, if they can get Jet Luchenko in a couple of years, like they got to get another grade 8. Philly needs to be a bad team. Like, quite frankly, they need to be a bad team. They were too good last year. And they just need to be a bad team. And the loss of Carter Hart, I think, is huge, man. I just think it's, we don't talk about it. We don't like to talk about the uncomfortable things. But, like, dude, that kills Philly, man. It kills them. I mean, the guy would have been right there with the development of all those guys. Like, Fedotov, I think, is going to be special, by the way. But he's just got to play on the North American ice. He needs to just get a lot of games. So, all right, let's real quick, Rico, preview tomorrow's games. And we'll be back tomorrow. There's only 4 games. Friday, though, nice. We got the World Series. Doyers, go Doyers. Right? You got to be rooting for my Dodgers, right, Rico?
I don't want the Yankees to win. Dodgers have a deeper lineup, top to bottom, 1 through 9. Yankees got a little better start in pitching because of all the injuries for the Dodgers. So, yeah. I mean, I just hope it goes long, 6 or 7 games.
I hope it's a 4-game
World Series.
4-game sweep would be nice.
Yeah. I love postseason baseball.
It'd be cool to see them win one in Dodger Stadium. The last time they won, they had to play in Texas because of the pandemic and stuff like that. So, real fans and stuff there will be cool. Let's go. Go Doyers. All right. Yeah, I know, Avi, you're a Red Sox fan. What are they doing? They should be competing for the World Series every year, too. It's ridiculous. Owners just care about making money now. Okay, so real quick update to the games that are live. We have no score in that Sharks-Kings game. Wow, is that game started? Like, what's happening? Why am I not getting an up-to-date picture of that game? That's odd, Rico. That's odd. Are you getting that game? By the way, Rams up 28-20.
No, but this is a Kings home opener too, so I know they did some stuff to the arena. That's why they started the first 7 games or something on the road. So they're probably doing some type of ceremony there at home for LA as their home opener, right? So they're calling everybody out on the ice, and so yeah, there's definitely something going on there. Nothing out of the ordinary.
Oh, yeah, that's because LA played. Okay, I forgot. This is their first home game. They played 7 far on the road. I was like, what is going on that they haven't started the game? But that makes total sense. There you go. Okay. All right, let's move on to tomorrow's games, and then we'll call it an evening. And we'll be back tomorrow. We got 4 games. First game up to bat is Ottawa in Vegas. It's a 2 p.m. start time. What's going on with that? Why is it such a 6 p.m. Eastern? What's going on? It's early in – where are they playing? It says it's in Vegas.
They're in Vegas. That's weird, man. I mean, there must be some sort of explanation for it because that's a 6 o'clock local start for Ottawa.
That's like a 4 o'clock start time in Mountain. I think Vegas is in Mountain time, I believe. Or are they in Pacific time? I think they're Mountain. They're Mountain time. I think they're Mountain. Yeah. I think. Yeah, so that's an early start time. Over under 6.5. Ottawa plus 124. I don't hate it. Vegas is good, but I don't hate it. Ottawa's been playing solid, man.
And depends who's coming back. I mean, Linus Ullmark's expected, but he's been expected for the last week as well too. So I don't know what's going on with him, if he's going to be back in the lineup or not.
Rico, you heard that interview with Stephen Valaquette and Kipper and Bourne, right? Where Valaquette basically said he doesn't like to play games in a row or back-to-backs. Date was like, you could hear a pin drop. Like, I think Kipper and Bourne were like I sometimes they feel like you could get a reaction from them where they're like, I don't know if we should be hearing this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was pretty insightful. But Ottawa's playing good, man. They're 4-2-0. We can't crap on them. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind taking the Senators here. But we'll see. I mean, Vegas just dominated the crap out of the Kings the other night, like 8-1. I think the Kings were just ready to go home, like you said.
Yeah, I can see Ottawa pulling this off too. A little bit of an earlier start, catching Vegas. Again, if Ullmark can sort of play up to his capabilities, after a drubbing against another team, a lot of times it's a little closer for that team the next game.
Well, that's why I like Ottawa with the plus money. I feel like if you're betting on this game, you just take Ottawa with the plus money and you win. You could double your money, If you lose, just don't bet big. Okay, Islanders at Devils. Islanders are 2-2-2. If there was anything funnier, they're mid. The Islanders are mid, and I think the Anthony Duclair thing is lost. The Devils got to do something, right, son? Like, they got to do something.
Yeah, losing 3 in a row and at Detroit against the Lightning. They got the Islanders, the Ducks, so they got a couple soft games here. They got to take these 2. They're at New York, at home against Anaheim, so I think they win this one, and then they beat the Ducks on Sunday too. So I think they get it together. Got to take New Jersey in this spot.
Yeah. Okay. Over under on that 6, by the way. Preds Blackhawks.
There's another team Nashville's got to get going. So they got to start banking some wins.
Yeah,
they just won their first one. You'll probably go puck line, even -1.5, because you'll probably be able to make a decent buck if you bet on it. You might as well bet on it either in regulation or puck line.
Yeah, they're winning this game. There's just no way. And that was a nice win for them the last game. I thought they've won 2 in a row, had they not? Nashville, I thought had won 2. I think they have their record.
They're 1-5.
Okay, geez. Okay, Penguins Oilers. This is the game, man. This is the game I'm excited to watch. Penguins Oilers, 5 o'clock start time, and 9 p.m. Eastern start time. So 5 o'clock.
You know what's funny about this one is McDavid was interviewed with Crosby coming to town, so he had all the microphones in front of him at the morning skate, and they asked him about the Four Nations Cup, right? About being the captain, and he said, it's Sid. So this will be interesting. Sid going into Edmonton.
Well, but don't you think he plays some of his best hockey there in Sid? Like, I always feel like he's like, he's so competitive. He doesn't like hearing McKinnon's the best player in the league. So, by the way, who leads the Pittsburgh Penguins in goals?
Malkin?
I'll give you a hint. Malkin does have 9 assists, though. I'll give you a hint. He used to play for my team, and he scored a very huge goal for my team. In fact, a Stanley Cup winning goal, in fact. His nickname is the Tiger.
Yeah. Lars Eller.
Yeah.
Lars Eller. Yeah.
Lars Eller leads the Penguins in goals with 4. So they got to pick up that. Pittsburgh's got to score. I like the Pens plus 180 here, man. The over-under is 6.5. I like that too. I'm going to tell you right now, though, these are 2 bad teams. No, obviously, there's no way. I like the Pens, dude. I'm telling you that they actually have not played bad hockey. They're 3-4. They just are slow. But you know what? The Oilers aren't real fast beyond their first couple lines anyway. So, I mean, their D's not great anyway. So, if Pittsburgh can play in Edmonton's zone and dominate the zone time, I think I'd take $10 out of plus 180. Otherwise, I would stay away. There's no money to bet on the Oilers. They're minus 218. It's shot props or goal props right there, for you, Rico. What do you think? And then we got to wrap up the show because I got company.
Yeah, if you take a flyer on the Penguins, if not, you got to take the Oilers minus 1.5. Oilers in regulation. Last game before Oilers go on a 4-game road trip, so they fly to Detroit after this. So they want to be feeling good on that plane. I think Edmonton leaves town on a good note. But you got to go in regulation or minus 1.5 here. You don't want to lose this game and then fly to Detroit. Imagine that flight, how shitty that would be.
If they are 2-5-1 or 2-5 or 2-4-2, whatever. If they are 2-4-2 or 2-5-1 after this Pittsburgh game, man, I think we're going to start hearing coaching change. Like, can you believe it?
Never know, man.
I'm wondering, dude. So, all right, guys. There's no final thoughts tonight. We'll be back tomorrow, 10 Eastern. I appreciate everybody. Thank you, Rico. Thanks for showing out.
One other thing. I'm wondering if this has ever been done or if it's even allowed to trade coaches. Like, you see players being traded. I wonder if there's ever been a coaching change, like Jim Montgomery for, like the Boston coach, Montgomery for the Edmonton coach. Imagine. Imagine you see that more often, just a straight up coach change, like a coach trade.
Let's talk about it tomorrow.
They make the salary work and stuff.
All right, I got to go, man. Let's talk about it tomorrow. See ya.